Sometimes school desegregation looks like this.
But sometimes it looks like this.
School desegregation. It's taking place all over the country.
We're going to look at school desegregation as we see it.
We'll see a student's eye view of school desegregation, written and researched by students, and filmed on location, where it's happening.
And that's what this series is all about.
Hi, I'm Jill Augustine for As We See It, a series of half-hour programs reporting the views of high school students on school desegregation, written and researched by students and filmed around the country. It's been over 20 years since the Supreme Court decided that separate schools for different races were unconstitutional. Many adult experts have given their opinions about school desegregation since that decision. But there are some experts whose opinions should be heard to determine how well desegregation is or is not working, the students themselves. As We See It gave them that opportunity. On today's program, students in Portland, Oregon take a look at a school to see what may happen when teachers and students jump to conclusions about each other. But our first student film comes from Pontiac, Michigan. The Pontiac school system started busing to achieve desegregation in 1971. Last year, students in the first class to graduate since busing began received their diplomas. Here are their views.
We are the first high school class to graduate after 4 years of desegregated education in Pontiac. We were the experiment, the first of the desegregated schools. Some experts say it was a failure. But something has happened to us.
This graduating class has many unique characteristics, and one of the most unique characters, as you know, is your president, Joe Erla. His example with his leadership as president, his leadership in the classroom, and his leadership on the athletic field were a significant factor as this graduating class progressed this year. Let me introduce to you, for the last time, your President Joe Erla, who will talk on For All My Fellow Students.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, fellow graduates, respected faculty, and distinguished guests. As class president, I have the honor to speak for all my fellow students. We are the first high school class to graduate after 4 years of desegregated education in Pontiac. Memories build up so fast during those years spent in high school. Like always, some are good and bring pleasure and satisfaction when remembered. Some are bad memories, which we would really rather forget, but somehow can't. Memories from special...
Memories? Man, you better believe it. I remember back in the 9th grade, kids jumping out of the windows to fight in the street. Parents were picketing.
We want the busing stopped. It's stupid.
Man, you better watch out because you pushed as far as you can push.
We're going to keep this up. It's going to be peaceful.
Okay. You won't hear when I hear people talk about bullets whizzing around. What is that for fear?
Only you talk about fear and violence and overturned buses. We talk about our rights, sister, and we're right down to the basic. My family.
Right. When your rights step on my rights, baby, look at
here in the United States, tell them, Mom. We're tired of talking. We want some action.
And your rights, well, you ain't got nothing to be proud about. Nothing to be proud about. Be proud about. Be proud about. Proud about.
Well, there's nothing wrong that I can see now. It's just like any other school. Most of the fights aren't racial anymore.
We came to high school with many preconceived ideas. Yes, even prejudices. But with time and friendship, myths were proven wrong, and stereotypes no longer apply. As we grew to know each other...
I think I learned something about myself and the black kids at Pontiac. Like that first day of school, they're all lined up against the walls and everything. They all looked alike, like everybody said they would, but I don't believe that's true anymore. Take it, Big Sam. He really helped me a lot in chemistry.
What we're going to do here is make hydrogen by pouring hydrochloric acid over the sun. No, not till 30 seconds after.
Wow, these black guys, they're supposed to be tough, everything you've always heard, You don't really know it. Working together really brought me along when I was getting down in grades. As big as he is and everything, just doesn't look the type that, hey, he's all right. And Bob, dude can play some basketball.
I got your number this time, man.
No, you don't, Floyd. What you got here?
He didn't think I had any kind of talent or anything, but he really showed me a lot. Play a good game of ball with Bob now. And Bob really taught me to be tough under the boards, get a good shot and play a good game. Hey, I think I learned something about myself and the black kids in Pontiac.
Advanced math. One of the great benefits of a desegregated education has been learning about the different people we go to school with, their cultures and their heritages, and learning about these different cultural backgrounds.
Nobody but blacks learned about blacks, baby.
To work with. I think this is what we come up with.
I don't remember seeing any whites in my black lit class or my history class. Well, whites should learn black history because we have to learn theirs. We go through school all 12 years, learn nothing but white history. They should know something about our culture, too. People that all get along a lot better if they knew about each other's heritage than they knew where they came from.
Race or side of town, because we now know that those differences are still in human terms. We found that race has nothing to do with ability. Accomplishment is based only on the individual. We changed our minds.
I was really scared thinking about going to school with whites.
I stayed up all night checking these papers, and I can tell that some of you did not stay up all night studying for them. And some of you I'm very proud of. And some of you I will be seeing next semester. I can tell already.
When I was in junior high school, I got all A's and B's, and I knew I'd be going to school with whites, and I was afraid of the competition. But man, when some of those white kids just got D's and E's in class, I didn't know what to think because I thought they were all smart. In my sophomore year, I got to represent the school in a state debate tournament.
the kids at school just think that, all kids are who they are, and, they're black and whites that are smart, black and whites that are dumb. And we know this now, so it's no problem.
Knowing students of different races has brought me many happy moments and given me pleasant memories.
Well, the parties, they stereotype us. They think we're troublemakers and stuff. When they first meet us, they get the impression that we're going to start some trouble with them, things like that. It's some, they'll act good toward us, but as soon as we leave them, they'll talk behind our backs, I just don't understand why. A few mixed couples dance, and some of the whites watched the way the blacks would dance, and, they went out and tried to do the dance, Yeah, all of them wanted to learn it. Oh, we enjoyed teaching them because it was an experience to us, teaching other people how to do things we already knew how to do ourselves. And the few that I hang around, well, we get along pretty well, but they never asked us about our black leaders. I would like to have them ask me about my black heritage and my culture, things like that, because I feel I can tell them how we came about. But they never asked about that. I don't know why they're not interested in us.
We have worked side by side. We must have a tolerance and a willingness to work with others for the sake of the team. Many times we will not care for the team we have to work with.
Yeah, but it depends on the team you play on. Some are all white and some are all black. But football is an integrated sport, and that's why it's more fun.
Defense, I want you over on the bench. I want you guys that beat these guys all over the damn field. You guys have actually beat them all over the field. It's the same damn thing that happened to us last year. We let down one play, and it went right into the damn overtime. Now you got to go out there. You got to carry the ball game to them. You understand? You got to carry it to them. All right, let's go. All right.
I'll say football. I know anyone can play that if they have the ability. Now, swimming's all white. Basketball is nearly all black. Golf and tennis is all white. Track is nearly all black. I'm glad I played football. I say it's like a team effort. If the team loses, they lose. When we win, we win.
School days. And in its own way, teamwork teaches us about ourselves and others. When meeting new people and we find out they went to school in Pontiac, we can say, yes, we were bused. And yes, we went to a desegregated school.
Riding the bus is the only time I got to see my friends. That's the time I talk about my lady, see my lady, get everything together before school starts. Yeah, busing is cool.
But we know that being in the same building doesn't mean mixing. We know all too well how we manage to keep separate.
I like a desegregated school for the most part, but there were times when I felt really uncomfortable.
Hey, punk, you do something, man? Come on here, white boy.
You don't know what they're going to do. They might, and your heart pounds. And you're really scared. So you don't do nothing. There isn't nothing you can do.
Class preparation. It was the pep rallies, homecoming, and the senior prom.
When Philip Cole was elected for king and Sheila Brent was elected for queen.
This year's homecoming king and queen, Philip Cole and Sheila Brent.
A lot of students didn't feel that should have been right. It should have been both king and queen should have been black, or both king and queen should have been white. I mean, I'm kind of glad that there was a white king and a black queen of some kind of mix.
The only real difference was the difference in the skin shades of the student bodies. We have received the benefit of growth. We have grown as whites, blacks, and Latinos in a culturally enriched environment.
The hell we have. We'll never get to know the other races if our own races don't stop giving us a hassle. So I know half the white kids in this school, and I talk to them like I talk to anybody else. And I don't care what nobody says. because I'm me, and, you know, they can't accept me for what I am. I don't even want to be with them nowhere.
Check this out, child.
Don't say nothing else to me.
I thought we was cool, Peter.
Catch you later.
Now here she comes.
Let's go back. She should go back, y'all.
Wow.
Still,
Ain't nothing to deal with you.
I am cool. What's wrong?
You hanging with them. Just like a
I think it's going to change because the younger kids that's coming up now are starting off in kindergarten mixing. Okay, as they grow up, they're going to always be mixed. And it's not going to always be, well, don't be over there with all them whites, or don't be over there all them blacks. They'll be together. I said, you know, be yourself. I think that's how it's going to be.
Instead of our different cultural backgrounds being an obstacle to student unity, differences are very strength.
I would say band, when you're talking about integration, people getting along, yes. Different races get along better in band. I don't know why. I guess it's because the common factor about music. Everybody wants to make beautiful music. I feel good when I get out there and march for the people because it gives them something to think about. Yeah, because when you get out there and march, you know, and looking good, and that gives them something to talk about about their school, you know, like they can go over to the center and say, well, look at our band, you know, it's good too, and our drum major, he can step just as good as Central's drum major. Give them something to talk about and be proud of. Blacks aren't better than white drum majors. It just depends on who the person is, how they feel, and if they're proud of their band. Because if they're proud, they're going to do something. We always have fun. It seems like kids in band can talk to each other better because they get to know each other better. The blacks and the whites and Latinos, all the different groups in there get together better. They seem to have a more tightly knit relationship than the other organizations. I can't exactly explain it, but they do. Everybody's proud, you know, and say, yeah, we turned it out that time.
For desegregation to work, it's taken more than just students. It involves support from the community, the administrators, and most important of all, the teachers. Desegregation is at its most effective.
Man, those teachers who are real hot on desegregation always making you work with people you don't want to work with. Always putting you together.
Get something done here about the way you're sitting, because when you study together in small groups, there's a lot of visiting, no work gets done. So I'm going to switch the seating arrangement around a bit.
I feel that if a lot of black people are friends, I think they should sit together.
Oh, come on, Mr. Robert. I want you and Rodney to change.
Because if it's a white person in there that we're real close to, we want them to sit with us too.
Robert. Come on, Suzette. How come we can't sit away? How come I can't sit away? That's just the way it's got to be, Joe.
It's a lot of times, that black people do call white kids over to where they are.
As much work as you could get done.
Oh, it's going to be the same thing if I'm sitting over here.
Well, I hope not. We'll see, though.
And as long as they're doing that work, I don't think they should move them.
Even more. It prepares you for life. Life as it really is in adult terms. When we walk off the stage with our diplomas, we will have to be prepared for an adult life that includes contact with people in our jobs and social life.
My parents told me that when desegregation began, it would prepare me for the real world as an adult, and I found that that's true.
Hey, I didn't get the same answer.
Because I'm going to be able to work with blacks and Latinos and whites, you know, together when I get older. I get along with everybody in school, you know, all races. If I go into a place where it's mostly black or mostly Latino, I'm not going to be afraid to go up and talk to them, you know. Campbell's Employment Service, may I help you?
The time spent getting to know each other has been worth all the effort. We've made lifelong friendships, and we've overcome so many barriers and fears that we had on our first days together. As leaders of the future, we have responsibilities toward the betterment of not only ourselves,
I hope people pretty soon accept desegregation. When people accept desegregation, then they'll get rid of all these quotas.
I have the honor to speak for all my fellow students. Memories build up so fast during those
I've learned that when I get to vote, it'll be to end desegregation because it's been a waste of time and money.
Yeah, I do like to go to a desegregated school. I'd send a kid of mine to this school. At least we've got the bilingual program, and that's the only way to learn.
When I'm an adult, it's going to be different. We aren't going to have to push to make it work. Kids can handle it themselves. Because to learn to get along together, you're going to have to be together.
And when my daughter grows up, she can date anyone she wants to, even that cute white dude in biology.
Well, this is it. It's official. In a couple of minutes, we'll be graduates, gone from this school forever. And you know what? We are different from every graduating class that came before us. I mean, really different. Not even the social experts can tell us what we're really like. Oh, they can hang names on us, but even they don't know for sure. We were the experiment, the first of the desegregated schools. Some experts say it was a failure. They remind us of the terrible violence back in 1971. And they say that it's really no different now. That we're sitting on a powder keg of trouble. They say people never change. And that mixing us up is like lighting a long fuse on a bomb. Boom. It's only a matter of time. Other experts say mixing us up is the only way for all of us to get a good education. And that all of us will learn to understand each other. Well, I don't know who is more right. And I'll bet you don't know either. And I'll bet nobody will really know for a long time after we're gone. But something has happened to us. Oh, they say they desegregated us, but we know that being in the same building doesn't mean mixing. We know all too well how we managed to keep separate when we wanted to. How easy it is to make somebody feel low when you want to show them who's boss. Or how easy it is to walk away when somebody wants a little of what you have. We all did it. But we all changed a little too. It's tougher now to put somebody down. It's tougher because you know him. There were too many times we did things together. Maybe because we were forced to. Maybe because we wanted to. Or maybe just by mistake. But now we're changed. More than the experts will ever know. More than we'll ever know. Goodbye, and good luck.
Some officials in many cities which have received court orders may benefit by studying the Pontiac experience. Advice may be received in Pontiac from school board members, teachers, parents, and from another important group, the students themselves. When a school desegregates, a lot of people are faced with new experiences. Students have different attitudes, ways of acting, talking, and dressing, which may cause stereotypes to be created or reinforced. The As We See It student producers in Portland, Oregon created a fantasy about people who have different lifestyles. Here is their dramatized film.
I smell smoke in the auditorium. Charlie Brown, he's a clown. That Charlie Brown, he's gonna get down. Just you wait and see.
Why is everybody always picking on me?
That's him on his knees. I know that's him. Getting 7, 11 down in the boys' gym. Charlie Brown, he's a clown. That Charlie Brown, he's gonna get caught. Just you wait and see.
everybody always picking on me?
Who's always writing on the wall? Who's always sitting in the hall? Who's always doing spitball? Guess who?
Okay, let's have it quiet in here. Take your seats, please. Settle down. Sit down, please. Let's have it quiet in this classroom, please.
Why is everybody always picking on me?
We'll continue our discussion today on description. I want you to turn to page 95 and begin reading the third paragraph down with Stephen closed his eyes and read through to the next page, second paragraph. Why do they always give me the transfer students? Especially the weird ones like Charles. Look at those shoes. They must be 6 inches high. And that shirt. He doesn't even take his hat off in class, as if it wouldn't matter with that hair. All right, now that you've completed the reading, let's consider together some of the words that give this passage action and real picturesqueness. These are normally used as verbs. Here they are used as adjectives. Carol Stone had Charles at Jefferson. She says he runs around with those 4th Avenue kids. I saw that record folder he's got, always getting in fights, suspended twice for insubordination. Either he straightens up or he's not going to be around at graduation.
Oh, man, this new teacher is already giving me the eye. The minute she walked in the door, she started looking at me hard.
Now, obviously, these are just a few of this kind of word in that passage. So I'd like you to get out your papers and pencils, make your own list, find just as many in these few paragraphs as you can. I hear that since he got here, Charles has started hanging out with those other troublemakers in the 3rd floor lavatory. Now, even James Hamilton has started hanging around up there. I swear James used to be one of my favorite students until this term. He used to dress so nicely. Now his hair has gotten so long and unkempt, and he keeps disrupting the class with his silly questions. I just don't know about these kids today. If I could just get my hands on them. These kids today, you can spot the troublemakers the minute they walk in the door.
Man, I'm so tired of these teachers sticking me in some kind of a bag. Hate those stereotypes. All those teachers think the same way.
Stereotyping of people is a factor in school desegregation. Some other topics, which as we see it will cover during this series, are student peer pressures, racial isolation in schools, student rights and responsibilities, generation gaps, and many more. For As We See It, I'm Jill Augustine.